that we're gonna have some late people today because of 410.
Oh, what happened on 14?
I don't know, they say there's some, yeah, what happened on 410?
The shutdown for the main. Oh, wow.
And that's the perfect time to do it on a Monday when people are trying to get to work to shut down the freeway to one lane. So, and then I need to get a petition signed to have Jason Garahan and Marco removed from the court, because I just can't put up with them and their smiles because Texas A&M won. I don't know if I can handle that today. I'm gonna have to, because we lost.
You gotta close your eyes, let the God in them be God in you.
But you know what? Oh my gosh, LaShawn, 3 interceptions, 3 missed field goals.
They beat themselves.
Yeah, you know what? That's how I'm looking at it. But explain to me how we lose a game away from home with a good team and we fall to number 16. Notre Dame can lose to a team with no ranking at home and they only fall like 1 or 2 spots.
Opus
I'm
Dei,
just
Judge.
saying.
It's Opus Dei. That's who it is.
But you know what? I always tell people, do not get too upset because I think of them as just children. They're doing the best they can. All right, everyone, I am going to call the docket. When I call the docket, you need to stand to let me know you're here. Otherwise, I'm going to assume you're not here and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. Everybody always say Mondays are bad days because it's a Monday. You know what can make Monday worse? 1, not waking up to a Monday. And 2, getting arrested on a Monday. So let's not have that happen. Oh, and the person in the back, if you'll take the shades off. Thank you. All right, Eric Michael Jones. And but here I'm giving people a little leeway because of the freeway situation. Richard Casanova is in custody. Johnny Ruiz. Thank you. Byron Agee, custody. Jordan Edward Estrada.
Judge, I'm here for him. The docket indicates he's on bond. I await his arrival with anticipation.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, Judge.
I love the LaShawn, waiting people's arrivals with anticipation. It's like when you're at a concert and the star performer is late. You're just like, I'm gonna listen to the comedian, you know?
Word.
Jose Gamboa, custody. Sharon Cardenas, custody. Cavanta Tyrone Thomas.
He's present in council here.
Thank you. Jose Gamboa, custody. Stephen Brady, custody. Nicholas Carrion. Stephen Brady, custody. Julius Tovar. Thomas Henson, custody. Philip Kendall Harris. All right, thank you. Anthony Villarreal, custody. Samantha Lee Lopez. Thank you. Anthony Villarreal, custody. Jonathan Alfaro, custody. Victoria Mesquias. Am I pronouncing that correctly, Mahia?
Yes.
Okay. Victoria Ray Mesquias. Even though you're telling me I'm pronouncing that correctly, in my soul, I feel that I am not pronouncing that correctly. How's your Spanish, Mahia?
Pretty good.
All right, that's why I'm sort of doubting. Amanda Drummond, custody. Jeremiah Miller. Thank you. April Perez, custody. Arturo Flores. James Austin. Thank you. Brandon Rocky Pena. Desiree Sariana.
Present.
Thank you. James Brandyberg, custody. Seth McDonald, custody. Is there anyone who's present and your name was not called? All right, attorneys, here are the rules because I found that when I don't do these rules, attorneys tend to forget the rules. Criminal child division files are there, family violence files are there. You are not ready to approach the court unless you conferred with the state and conferred with your client. If your client is in custody, your client will need to be brought out. You are not ready to approach the court if your client has not been brought out. If your client wishes to speak to the court in a language other than English, there will need to be an interpreter. So after you've conferred with the state, after you've conferred with your client, after you have an interpreter down, then what you do is you let the coordinator know. They will put your file here. There is no need to continue to stand in the well and stare at me because guess what? I'm going to call you in the order in which I received your file. If I have not received your file, I'm not calling you. Court reporter is here. When we are on the record, do not stand behind the court reporter. Do not talk behind the court reporter when you're in the box. All you need to do is let the deputies know to move you and your client to the other end. I have faith each day that everyone is going to follow these rules. So far, since 2019, nobody has followed these rules. There's always one person. All right, here's the other thing. Probation. Ms. Abrams, could you raise your hand? That is probation. If you have a client where you're entering a plea and the agreement is for them to be on probation, speak to the probation officer. Let her know what the agreement is. If your client is on probation and there's a motion to revoke, speak to the probation officer. Because at the end of the day, if you don't, it's going to slow the process down because I'm going to ask her for her thoughts and her opinions. Probation is an integral part of the legal system. So, everyone, it's Monday. I know we thought we would be retired, but on a good note, we're currently alive. To that Texas A&M people, you won. Even though we made a bunch of mistakes, like 3 exceptions and 3 field goals, it would have been a disappointment if you would not have won with all of our mistakes. So congratulations. And to my LSU Tiger people, guess what? We've fallen out of the playoff rankings, but it still can be reached. So I'm happy. Oh, and how about them Cowboys? So I'll hold on to that. All right. I can say that because the Saints, we're not doing well either. But everyone, please confer. It's going to be a great day. Yeah.
I like to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll wait for it.
But Bashan, Saturday, I got up at 6:30 a.m. to be ready to give a tour to the students who came to the courthouse on Saturday. It was a lot of fun.
Really?
Oh gosh, yes.
Did they enjoy themselves?
Oh my gosh, they did. I'm sorry. Yes. So we had a lot of fun. You know what? They were here from 10:30 till 2:30.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Got lunch with them and everything?
Oh, yes, yes, I did. They were so awesome. And they had some great questions. Yeah. And I was grateful. You know what all of the girls said? Judge Boyd, I'm not going to meet a guy at the club on Friday and bring him to my house and he never leaves. I'm like, thank you.
Okay, I still have the sheet on. I'll be ready. Can you give it back?
I'm gonna say on the record, but yeah, it's a hyphen versus. But our. As currently. Or has it been. At John. Or it's just good one.
I thought he was in compliance.
What do you mean by?
Hello,
Your Honor, how are you?
doing great. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve, promise.
No, never say that. We all deserve to be doing well. Oh, yes.
On Mr. Flores, Judge,
Mhm.
I really haven't had any contact with him. When I got appointed, my notice didn't have a phone number. So I'm pretty sure we sent a letter out, but no response, and then he fell out of compliance, but then apparently on September 17th, I received one that said he was back in compliance by having phoned in to his pretrial officer,
Mhm.
but
Well, let me do this before I call it. Let me send an email to his pretrial services officer to see if he's back in compliance. Because sometimes that happens. And they are not on the list. Let me see something. Let me try this. All right, so if you give me about 10 minutes, because that's how long it takes for them to respond. Thank you. Same situation. All right, who's here on Johnny Ruiz? Hello.
no.
Hi, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Good morning to you too. All right, so where are we on discovery? Has that been completed?
Unclear,
Sorry,
unclear.
All right, so when is it going to be clear?
I can explain, Your Honor.
Yes.
So we had a piece of discovery that was too big for e-discovery download.
Mhm.
Court told us to take care of that. That same week, I put an envelope, sealed it, went to the DA's office, put the cause number on it, put a flash drive inside for them to download discovery for me, and a sticky note identifying what piece of discovery that I was missing. I talked to Daniel. He said he was going to get it to me, but apparently I guess he switched courts now. This is the first I've learned about it. I still have not got it. We dropped it off at the DA's office, blank flash drive. We're just waiting to receive that.
Well, just one moment. Because this is going to be to you today. Because we've been on discovery since August. Just give me a moment. Does your discovery and puts things on drives.
Usually it's us, Your Honor.
All right, so y'all need to call your advocate, whoever it is, and find out where his discovery is. Or whoever needs to call them, because he's been waiting for discovery since August. And we are now at the end of October. So just have a seat. We're going to figure out where your disk is that you turned in and where the discovery is.
Well, Judge, I'd also ask on Reese on the basis that I'm on day 5 of trial in the 407th court, and they graciously allowed me to come here with.
Oh, no, go ahead and go to trial, but they're gonna get this discovery today.
Okay,
All right?
will they text me, or I can come pick it up during a break or something?
Yeah,
like that?
just leave your number.
Okay.
And if you'll remain, and I'll make sure we get your reset, but we're gonna get this discovery done. All right. All right.
Do I come back here to pick up the discovery or with the DA's office?
Oh, no, you can come back here. I'll have them bring it down.
Okay.
All right, so just have a seat.
I won't be back till lunch hour, Judge.
I mean, it'll be here for you to pick up.
Okay.
Yeah. And if we're on lunch break or something, if you go to the back, it'll be right there on the table.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Sure. That's my office number. I can give you my cell. 210-544.
All right, Eric Jones,
276.
Jordan Estrada, Nicholas Carrion, Philip Harris, Julius Tovar, Victoria Mesquias, Arturo Flores, Brandon Pena. Yeah. It's Rocky. Yeah.
She's on the docket.
Can we e-file and update?
Sure. I can give it to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
We don't have a date. She wants me to get this number.
Yes,
Judge, I'm going Samantha Lopez. We're going to do a plea today.
okay,
Thank
all right,
you.
thank
Thank
you.
I asked Rose to look for office for that. And she finds it to bring it down. Also for comments. Escobar says that best cups dropped off in the at the fourth floor window, but he doesn't think that that's taken. The dismiss them. Our contract is on that. I don't know about your mind. So I'm ready for this. This is what we had. I know. And I don't know what to make. Which is why I asked Walmart to call us and give us greater insight and they have. So we can either give it to the judge, and see if the judge makes it answer, or it is sorry, not. The judge already got it.
I mean, I assume.
I don't know.
And that's not better.
I don't think. Well, unless sorry, not herself, then we will specify what it means. But she doesn't need to do that if she doesn't want to.
So what should be able to do? Because I'm not staying up to.
Know about it. I'm not asking.
Okay,
Right, I'm saying this is what we. Okay. Make of it what we.
so I'll just thank you that number.
All right.
But it, we'll see.
Hello. He's the big one. Sorry.
No, it's sentencing. We already planned, but it's sentencing.
All right, so
I'm just gonna turn on my
no problem.
amplifier here. I can hear you.
Deputy, could you make an announcement in the hallway for Arturo Flores III?
Also got in.
No. All right, thank you.
I don't know why they were.
Counsel, you want to approach on Arturo Flores?
I got a gun.
All right, thank you. Are you ready to go on the record?
I'm ready, Judge.
All right, can I have a prosecutor? Court is calling NIMAC numbers 7575551, 750-862, State of Texas versus Arturo Flores III. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Harris Edelman.
for the
Ed.
defense?
Ed got us in from Mr. Flores.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 9:26 a.m. This hearing was called because the court received a third violation report on your client. Have you had any contact with your client?
No, Your Honor, I have not.
All right. Have you sought to reach out to him?
Yes, Your Honor, I have several times.
All right, according to the third violation report, pretrial services have tried to reach out to him. He's on a PR bond for each of the cause numbers. State,
Request bond forfeiture and issue warrant.
all right, then for the violation report, what the court will do is the court will issue a judge's warrant. The court will remand your client without bond. If your client makes an appearance, the court will reconsider.
Okay.
All right, we can close the record. Counsel, do you have the number that's listed on the violation report? If not, I'll give you that number in case you want to try that one. And it's his reference.
I don't see it.
Oh, here you are.
Oh,
So if you want to try calling that number, you can.
I surely will.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, may I be excused?
Yes, you may be excused. State, you may be excused.
Thank
Just give me a moment. All right, yes.
I wanted to introduce you to my third year law student from St. Mary's.
Hi,
Maldonado, this is Judge Stephanie Boyd.
hi, nice to meet you. What's your name again?
Okay, Maldonado.
All right, how are you enjoying law school?
I like it so far. It's a lot of reading and a lot of work, but it's the challenge that I wanted.
Oh, let me just tell you, if I had to do it all over again, I think I would have enjoyed it more. Because once you start the practice of law, you'll realize, why was I worried about law school? So you're more than welcome to come down anytime and sit in and introduce yourself to the people.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes,
awesome.
Thank you.
Deputy Mejia, are you able to take her to the back, to show her to the back? I teach at UTSA,
Oh,
so I
okay.
always tell my students, if you're going to be practicing criminal law, you need to go visit where your clients may end up being, be that the Bexar County Jail, be that a prison. So he's going to show you to the back. Now, I will tell you this, the last time we showed somebody in the back, they got locked back there, but the next day they were released, so it was fine. All right.
I'm a little
Taking a
scared
jury
now.
with me in the 186, so.
Okay.
And
All right, she got to rush through. Thank you.
you.
I wanted to approach because I have a setting I
Mhm.
believe, tomorrow
Okay.
for sentencing.
Who
No,
is
it's
it?
today. It's Mr. McDonald. They're bringing up a jury right now for us
Okay.
and I'm going to start in the 186th.
All
I
right.
didn't know if I could recall Seth for Friday because I hope this will be done by Thursday.
I can recall it for Monday.
Okay, well, let's try to recall it for Monday.
And who's your client?
Seth McDonald.
And is he in custody or on bond?
He is in custody.
All right, could I see the file on Seth McDonald? And Norma, when the deputy comes back, when you have them bring Seth McDonald out, and we'll recall it for Monday.
Okay, I am scheduled to pick a jury on Monday also in civil court with a pro se litigant. And she is not letting it go. So that's why I was trying to.
Well, let me ask you this.
I'll do what you tell me.
Well, do you want me to recall it for Thursday and see if you have a chance to stop by?
Yes, let's
All
do
right.
that. if we
So
can.
we'll put it on the 31st. Norma, could you schedule it for the 31st? Yes.
Because Judge might start the trial late in the 186, and that will give me a chance to come and do his sentencing.
Okay, all right, awesome.
May I have excuse?
Yes, good luck to you. Oh my gosh, she made it out.
Good job.
One, two, here. Did you have a file pull? I gave an announcement, don't stare me down.
No, Judge, no,
Okay,
no, I need this, my client needs this thing together.
okay, oh, the clerk has it.
No.
Thank you, I was like, yeah.
No.
Sure.
The Zoom ID. Oh, okay, I got it, it's right there. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Is it 2904 the last one?
Let me see. Because it's the same one we had last week. Nope, that's not it.
Thank you, everybody. Sorry for the.
Oh, no.
Thank you, Judge.
Do you have a stapler over there? Yeah. Thank you. That's that. And let me put this in the system.
Thank you.
What's that?
Yes.
Judge, may I approach on Jonathan Alfaro?
Oh, just one moment.
Your question. Okay.
I'll talk to you.
All right, yes. Good morning.
Sorry about my phone again. I thought I had an extra jacket in my office.
No problem.
So Judge, Mr. Cornelius Cox is on the 2 capital murder cases. I'm not capital murder certified. I discussed with him about possibly taking on the ag assault. He's on board with taking him on.
Mhm.
And another reason why we're both requesting is the alleged offense dates are pretty close in time, so.
Okay,
He needs to access the cases assigned to me.
no, that's fine. When is this set?
It's up for today, Judge. I've been
Okay.
emailing about it, but Norma asked me to approach, so we could.
No, that's fine. Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
you're welcome. No, just put Cornelius on it. Oh, the conquering hero comes.
I want to, like, make it wait, feel the intensity.
No, I've already had to deal with Marco in the back. So congratulations.
Thank you.
On your victory that was based upon mistakes that LSU made.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, the honest truth, I almost left at halftime. I was like, this is terrible. We're playing like, I
Oh,
was
no.
like, I'm out of here. And
Let
then
me just tell you, I knew that our quarterback was going to do something silly. But hey, it happens.
it it was the third biggest crowd at A&M. It was
Yeah.
huge.
Oh, yeah.
And it was, I mean, it didn't seem that packed, but I mean,
Yeah.
it was 100 and like almost 109,000.
Yeah.
But it was a blast. I mean, everybody was like pretty smooth and nothing bad. In our section, when somebody got kicked out, and I was like, it was
But
pretty-
something bad did happen.
oh,
LSU lost.
well, it was like, sort of like gonna happen either way.
And then the, how we fell in the polls just does not make any sense for us.
Okay, y'all fell to 14?
No, 16.
Okay, that, I mean, see, to me, you don't like eight.
No,
I mean, if you watch the game, it's just that one, they gave up on the run game, and
Yeah.
two, they didn't prepare for Reed. That other.
oh, let me
quarterback.
just tell you, that is coaching's fault.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm like, you can't stop the run. See, and this is what gets me. LSU has always been known for its defense.
Oh, yeah.
Of late, we've had coaches who have abandoned the defense.
Yeah.
And you explained to me how LSU, when their players graduate, a majority of them end up in the NFL, first team, and we can't win.
Well, I mean, if you were, I mean, I could not believe, like, into halftime, it was like, like the first quarter, LSU had like negative revenue.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, and then we were watching, and I was like, and I was telling my buddy, I go, they're airing it out. And they're, and like, you know, LSU back in the day would air out, but they had, the guys were touching hands, they weren't catching the ball.
Yeah.
So those receivers were not.
No, and then we had the kicker who could not make
Oh,
a field
I felt so
goal.
bad for him.
And I had texted my brother and I said, they just need to stop letting him kick field goals. Obviously, this is not his night. Just go for it.
After the third time, I was like, good for him. So, so he didn't have to kick that one because that was totally the snapper's fault.
Oh, yeah.
When it hit like,
Snapper is just like, what are you looking at?
I couldn't believe it.
I'm just like,
Oh, but so there was like probably 4 big mistakes, the 3 interceptions and the fumble.
oh, no. The 3 interceptions, the fumble, the 2 missed field goals, the fact that we were not stopping the run, the fact that we didn't run. I mean, yeah, there were a lot of mistakes.
Well, I tell you, what is it? That second quarterback we put in
Mhm.
was like, his quote was like, well, they weren't covering me, so I kept on taking it.
Yeah.
Because he would drop, and see, some quarterbacks would drop back and throw the ball away. But he was like, screw you, and starts taking off, and he had an open field, so.
So I'm just like, can we still make the playoffs? Yes, we can. But we're going to need some help, which I think we will receive because of the people who are playing each other.
Yeah.
But we can't lose any more games.
I'll tell you what, A&M has South Carolina, which is no slouch. Then we have New Mexico, and we have Auburn, and then the big one, we got Texas.
Well, we're going to be pulling for you all
Oh, yeah,
because that'll make our loss look better.
and make it look a lot better.
So congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'll be pulling for your team from
Yeah.
now on now.
Well, I will tell you what, I did start a petition
Oh, did
to have you and Marco move from the court. Nobody signed it. Sean's like, I'm not signing that. I'm like, okay.
I almost wore a purple tie, but I just couldn't.
Oh, you should have worn a purple tie. That would have lifted me up a little bit. Seth McDonald, if you'll come forward. Hello, Mr. McDonald. Doing a great. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Hope I'm going to the Super Bowl. My people in Louisiana, my brother.
Okay. Well, congratulations. Hey, listen, we're going to recall you for October 31st. Your attorney is actually in a jury trial. So we're going to bring you back on the 31st, which is still this week. And so she's going to come over when she has time. But, you know, I would always tell my clients, look, I'm in a jury trial. I can't be here and be there.
Yes, ma'am.
So I just wanted to let you know nobody's forgot about you. So we're going to bring you back on Thursday, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Vashon McDonald is coming back on the 31st.
Pretty sure I can get in this.
Just making sure. You're ready to approach on Eric Jones. I believe he's on Zoom waiting room.
He's not in Zoom.
Still, Judge? You said he's in the waiting room.
No, he's not. I'm looking. He's not in the waiting
I
room.
believe you, Judge. I'm
Okay,
just frustrated. I'll call him in one more time.
all righty.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Desiree Sariana. No problem. All right, so this is being recalled, and the reason why it was being recalled because it had to do with the amount of restitution, correct?
That's correct, Judge, and you felt like the paperwork submitted did not substantiate other than her conviction, the exact amount or. that
So
was-
do we have an exact amount now?
Well, no, Judge, we've got no more discovery. I thought maybe they would come forward with some itemizations. And it's,
All right, so part of y'all plea bargain agreement was the agreement of restitution of 14,000. So that's not a part of the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Judge.
A part of the plea bargaining agreement, Your Honor.
So then why are we having a restitution of $14,000 if you all agree that $14,000 is the amount?
Because you ordered it, Your Honor.
Okay, yes, so what do we have?
nothing further that was previously tendered for the court. I've been checking discovery on that, kind of thinking. So it may be that your concerns have not changed.
All right, because the police report says she took between $13,000 and $15,000. So are you going to agree that you owe $14,000?
I don't know how much it was.
No. My question is, are you going to agree that you owe $14,000?
Agree.
All right, we're going to go on the record. Court is calling 2023 CR 2580 State versus Desiree Nicole Sariana. Serini, how do you pronounce it?
Shadiana?
Sariana. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state
Andrew Harris Edelman.
defense?
Tom Beck defendant.
And are you Desiree Sariana?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're back here for restitution because according to the police report, it says that they think she took somewhere between $13,000 and $15,000. So are you in agreement that it was $14,000 defense?
Well, she signed the plea bargain agreement.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Desiree Nicole Shadiana?
All right, according to the plea bargain agreement, you agree that you took $14,000 from the complainants, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so in the police report, this is Walmart, and Walmart says that the defendant admitted to taking somewhere between $13,000 and $15,000 of not placing money in the recycler. So how are you planning on paying this back? Where do you work?
In Amazon?
All right, are you making enough money to pay back $14,000?
Yes, ma'am. The
Probation.
payment,
One person at a time, please.
I'm sorry, what?
in payments? I can do payments.
All right, so here's the thing, you were working at Walmart and according to the police report, you took $14,000 because you needed for bills and housing and insurance. How is that any different working at Amazon? Is Amazon paying you more?
Right now I'm getting paid $19.30 or.
Sorry, what?
Right now they're paying me $19.30 and I'm living with my partner and my partner is the one that's paying the bills.
And so if,
So I can pay the money back for.
All right, so if your partner leaves you, will you be able to pay this $14,000?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, people say that because they want probation and then we end up right back here. I'm not going to do what other judges would do. What other judges would do would say, they're not accepting this agreement till you pay the $14,000, and they usually would give you a month to come in with $14,000. So do you have a specific amount, sort of as a down payment towards paying off the $14,000 that you can pay?
No, ma'am. What do you mean, like a down payment, something to start it off? say?
Yes, like $2,000. Do you have $2,000?
No,
How much money do you have to pay towards this $14,000 restitution today?
right now, nothing.
Why do you have nothing to pay if your partner is paying all the bills? What are you doing with your money?
She's the one that told me that she would pay the bills while I do the monthly payments. The money that I have saved, I've been using to come over here because I live in Amarillo now, so I'm having to drive over here for court.
All right, no gum chewing.
So
All right, so how much does it cost to drive to court from Amarillo?
like $100,
All right, so you've been here to court 1, 2 times. This is your 3rd time.
$100 to come and then $100 to go back.
All right. So that's $600. So what do you have to pay towards this $14,000?
Right now, nothing. I can see what I can come up, like ask family members to help me out for a down payment.
Ms. Abrams, will y'all be able to put her on a schedule where she can pay off $14,000? Are you going to be able to pay $500 a month?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Abrams, in order for her to pay off this $14,000, she needs to pay $500 a month towards restitution. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And we're going to start her first payment. We'll start it November 1st. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. State, you may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court is going to sentence you to 4 years deferred adjudication. There's to be no contact with Walmart. There's to be $500 per month for restitution. There's a $500 fine that will be probated. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. Do a transfer to Amarillo. What county is that?
I believe it's Potter.
All right. It'll be transferred to Amarillo. And if they're able to do field visits in Amarillo, it's field visits 1 time per month for 3 months. There's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. She's going to do a theft course. Once you complete the theft course, 100 hours will be deducted. Do you have any children?
No, ma'am.
All right. And then she'll have to complete the remaining 100 hours of community service restitution. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, when you come up short on your bills, stealing is not the answer. Because then guess what ends up happening? You're still gonna pay that money back. Now you have something on your record that's called a crime of moral turpitude, which is very bad. So if you try to get a job that requires you to have a license, this is gonna pop up on your record and non-disclosures will not help you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
In this court, I require that you report. In order to be successful on probation here, communication is key. So if there's an issue, let your probation officer know. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And you need to handle your bills and know that you need to pay $500 a month towards restitution. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And everyone, just give me a moment. Hello. Yes.
Eric Jones is a legend. Thank you.
I'm good. Oh, I didn't do any of that, did I, Judge? I
See?
failed you. My PLG has been. too
See,
long.
it's like-
Sorry.
Have a good one.
It's a Monday.
Yes, it is. Okay. There's that. Oh, here's falling out, sorry. Johnny Ruiz. Tavanta Thomas, sir, just have a seat. We're waiting for your attorney.
Oh.
All right, on this one, do you have the hard drive?
Yes, that's been turned over, Judge, and we're still waiting for that discovery to be provided.
All right, so the hard drive was turned over September 30th. So where is his discovery?
My understanding, Judge, we went to the window, the hard drive was never picked up. Gave it to Anthony this morning, and he said he was going to try to make that copy.
All right, tell them they need to make the copy today. So just have a
Hopefully.
seat. We're gonna get that done.
I'll be waiting.
Thank you. All right, Eric Jones.
Allegedly on Zoom now, Judge.
Oh, he's on Zoom now. All right, body cam.
There is none. I received a response from Texas DPS agent Villanueva, who informed me that the agents who investigated this case were not equipped with body worn camera recording devices and so could not make recordings.
All right, so there's no body cam.
Yes, Judge. I just received two different plea offers from the state. If I can get a short 2-week reset so my client can decide which adventure he wants to choose.
Okay. Let's see. Norma, recall this for November 12th.
Thank you, Judge.
Welcome. And if it's going to be a plea, your client can appear by Zoom. He'll need to have the ability to sign plea paperwork though. So if he doesn't have the ability to sign plea paperwork, then he'll need to be in court.
Roger that, Judge. I'll go over that with him, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And thank you for dressing appropriately for court. You're excused.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like.
If we approach the
Yes.
here, Judge, on Mr. Jordan Estrada.
All right.
He's on time. He's not, I gotta go.
All right, you need to have them pull the file.
Oh, will do. No. How about you? I think that's the file, Judge.
Oh, yes, just give me a second. Right, Deputy here, could you make an announcement for, and he's not there? All right, could I have a prosecutor?
Very certain.
He is on GPS, I think. I mean, isn't he on GPS?
Judge, he left lifetime against treatment advice.
Okay,
I'm not sure
All
what
right.
has happened to him since then.
all right.
He's not reached out to me.
Court is calling night mag number 7-3-8855, State of Texas versus Jordan Edward Estrada. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
for the defense?
Ed Wood for Mr. Estrada, Judge, just for the court's edification, he's been indicted.
All right. Mr. Estrada was placed on a PR bond with partial GPS. This hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:01 a.m. Defense, have you had any contact with your clients?
No, I have not, Your Honor.
All right. Have you sought to contact him?
I don't have a way to contact him.
All right. And you said he was in lifetime recovery?
Yes, Judge, and left.
All right, state.
Yeah, Judge, we're requesting a judge's warrant.
All right, a judge's warrant will be issued. And your client will be remanded without bond. And Deputy Mejia, for the record, did you all make an announcement? All right.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
On that one, it shows him as a fugitive already. Okay.
Yeah, this is the most I've ever seen.
All right, is the attorney here on Johnny Ruiz? Sir, I know what you're waiting for. State on Johnny Ruiz, they need the hard drive.
Yes, and that's, trying to hunt that down. I mean,
Okay.
my understanding, gave it to Daniel, but I told my advocate to call Daniel, find out where it's at. But then I was understanding it might be a disk or it might be a hard drive, and so I think we're trying to figure all that out.
All right, thank you. All right, they're not ready on that. Rashawn? On the violation you sent me on Chase Gordon? Chase Gordon? The last line says he's supposed to go to safety, but then it says that he's completed safety.
I get some extra stickers too. I found 6 of this. Oh, we have
So he finished the residential part of the AP. And when he was released from safety,
He's supposed to go to outpay, okay,
the
aftercare, okay. You're welcome.
Oh, God, you're supposed to talk to, you for Daryl about. So you and Neil together about something. Neil, that's the one that Lee talked about. Oh, yeah. Okay, now you talk to me.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Oh, no, I mean, well, because it's with. I don't know.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes,
Mr. Harry, my client to appear by Zoom. He says he got some ID this morning from the clerk.
yes. You,
Waiting for the host to evolve.
sure.
They may have. He says it's waiting for the host to start the meeting. So I said, that's probably not correct, Mr. Harris. Let me go find the correct one because they change it all the time.
All right, and Bashan, I'm unable to sign the order for the removal of the GPS on Sanchez. It won't let me. So I did send it back to you. All right, thank you. You're welcome.
Now, but we are. In the document.
Thank you.
Well, keep it. Oh.
Yeah, I had to do the bird.
That's fine.
Will do. Thank you. Thank you. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 4089, State of Texas versus James Brandyburg. Could I have parties approach and announce for the record for the state? Defense?
Adrian Pettis.
And where's Mr. Brandyburg? All right, and are you Mr. Brandyburg? All right, we're here for sentencing. You entered a plea of no contest on September 10th, applied for deferred adjudication. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 3 years in the prison, and the state opposes your application. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No,
Defense?
Your Honor.
Any witnesses, state?
Not mistake.
Defense, any witnesses?
No witnesses, but I'll offer defense 1 and defense 2. No objections.
All right, if you all will have a seat while I,
I'll highlight them for you if you'd like, Judge.
oh no, I'd love to read.
Wonderful.
All right, so if y'all will have a seat while I read the medical reports, I'm assuming that's what this is,
Yes.
and then I'll call you all back up.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, Judge, may I take 5 minutes while you do
Oh,
that?
yes.
It was a felony, yes, so it's still. Yeah.
So, Mr. Harris, got the freedom. He's on Zoom. I don't know if she said she doesn't know if she has access to the open side or. I haven't downloaded those on my phone. It's pretty good. Okay. At least in the past. Okay. I mean, that's now.
Yeah.
Who's your person, Harris?
Okay, Harris, yes, Your Honor.
He's on Zoom.
Yes, we have an agreement worked out, but not sure about doing a plea, I guess, by Zoom or
Oh, yeah. Just have them do it by Adobe Sign.
saying she's not sure she has access to Adobe Sign, but we'll see.
Oh.
May I be excused to go down to 290 because they're working on paperwork on the client down there.
Yeah, but you need to get on Zoom here so that your client can give them his email address unless you have his
I
email
can give
address.
the email address to, who do I need to give that to?
You need to give it to Norma and you also needed to give it to the prosecutors.
Let me give her address to you. Here we are. Yeah, it's over now, you know, I already had already have staked their felony. Honestly, if it was shorter than I was signed, you know, copy. Small things. I've done paperwork going on. Yeah, that one was sure. Within a Walmart. Feeling. Horrible. They had. Search for that. Oh my God. Deferred. Yes, deferred. Deferred. Anyways, I'll go down to Guardian, see if they have my paperwork ready for the thing. I guess I gotta do that on my phone then.
Cornelius. Are you coming here jumping on the bandwagon and then you petting, don't pet Jason in his back like he needs some kind of uplifting?
They switch quarterbacks on you.
No, let me just tell you, they switch quarterbacks, but here is our problem. Number one, you can't win games if you can't stop a run. Number two, you can't win games if, it's sort of like basketball. You live by the three, you die by the three. You live by the pass, you have no run game. It's all pass. I'm shocked we scored as much as we did because it was strictly a passing offense. Thank you. Notre Dame coach.
We had the lead at halftime.
No, here's the problem. We had the lead at halftime. You throw 3 interceptions. Whether it's the field goals kicker's inability to make a field goal or not, you miss 3 field goals. What do you expect to happen?
Agony of defeat.
It is. But as I was telling Jason, we have fallen. But can we still get up to make it to the playoffs? Yes, we can.
That's good. Yes, you can.
Because we still have some teams that we have to play.
Yeah.
And other teams have to play teams. But we're going to see what's going to happen when you have people who are close in ranking and they play. We're going to see how they're going to let them fall. Now, we already know they're not going to let Notre Dame
Oh.
fall out of the rankings. I don't care if Notre Dame loses to a Pop Warner team. They still gonna find a reason why they should only drop in rankings by maybe 2. So
Y'all have what, they have Ole Miss, I think.
No, we have South Carolina.
South
New
Carolina,
Mexico.
that's tough.
And South Carolina's gonna be tough, but then we also have Auburn, which they're not great, but they're still tough.
Yeah.
And then last game of the season,
UT,
Texas. That's gonna be
and see,
big.
here's the thing.
have to go with UT.
Now, let me just tell you what I'm, no.
Ain't in to win.
Let me just tell you what I'm doing. I'm gonna be doing this because since we lost to them, we need them to win every game.
So you're that lost, but. Yeah.
That's what we
true,
need to
too.
do. Now, if they fail us, I'm truly gonna start a petition to have him moved and Marco moved. Like they gotta go. But we'll see how. And then Cadiz,
My deepest sympathy. I'll pull for you, boys.
Jason, I don't think I have his deepest sympathy. And you know what? He's playing games to me right now. Do you see me talking about Florida? No. What is Florida's rank?
We're not ranked there. But I like that. I like being not ranked.
I like not going to the playoffs.
I'd like being ranked number 10 right now.
Go down.
People gonna go to sleep on you.
Fall, we can only move up.
That's all you can do.
That's what it is.
And we play Florida. We're gonna have to,
We gotta play
beat them.
LSU,
Are y'all play?
Yeah, we play
LSU?
Florida.
Yeah.
we have
Play
Florida, we have
Georgia.
Alabama.
and we play UT.
So
And you
they
know
could-
what I'm
They could
doing?
easily go to the
I'm
top.
doing this. I'm pulling for you. Make your swath through the Texas schools first, please.
If we can do that.
Oh, we can do that. They may just leapfrog y'all above Notre Dame. Oh, Cornelius, you want to ask for your guy so we can get your guy out? Mr. Alfaro? Oh, he's in the box.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right, are you all ready on Brandenburg? Oh, Raymond's, just give us a moment and Raymond will come up and I'll take you up. But I've read your documents, counsel.
Thank you.
All right, who's here on Byron Agi or Age? And where is he?
Judge, may I address the court?
Yes.
Judge, he was just ordered, psychiatric evaluation on
Mhm.
Thursday. I have to admit that I missed the first informal hearing a week before, so they were resetting it for Thursday, so finally that's ordered.
Okay, all right, let's have him brought out. All right, if you guys can bring out Byron Ag or Age. Who's here on Sharon Cardenas? Okay.
Yeah, just maybe just a tad.
Thank you. All right, so what is happening with this case?
The judge, there's been an offer, but I think there's at least two other co-defendants
Mhm.
that are, I don't know if they've been transferred yet. And I think that Ms. Gay wants to coordinate with those attorneys.
All right, are they on the docket today?
No, they're not.
One co-defendant is here and meaning his case is here, the other one we're waiting for it to be transferred. They're the alleged, this is a law parties case for us. And it's set November 18th for Norma, one of the co-defendants. And we're just asking that our case be set with that co-defendant.
What co-defendant is set November 18th?
I believe it's Michael Kilgore? Kilgore.
All right, why are these not listed as co-defendants?
I don't know.
Two of them are listed as co-defendants and one is not. I don't understand it either. Judge.
Ours is, we're not tied to their case. Our cause number is different, everything.
All right, who's the attorney on Kilgore? Hi, Mr. Bach, come forward. This discussion is about you.
And I've spoken to Charles about this case previously.
Hello. Right. Hi. So let me look up your guy.
And then there's a James McGarity, and Norma has requested that they forward that file to you, the case to you.
And I'm sorry, Charles, what's your client's first name?
Michael.
All right, so your case was actually set for October 14th. I guess you were in trial or somewhere.
Can you take us offline? Can we?
Yeah. That sounds.
All right, who's here on Stephen Brady? Where is he? Come down. Oh, it's where we're in this case with discovery.
Discovery had all been tendered to defense counsel.
All right, was an offer tendered?
Yes, Your Honor, the state tendered an offer today. I conveyed that to my client. I'm asking the court for a reset so I may figure out what's going on with this out of county case.
All right, so your plea deadline date is going to be November 18th. So at that time, you'll need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, any questions about anything?
No.
All right, then. Thank you, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. May we be excused? Judge?
Yes.
Great. Number 18. I'll see you then.
All right, have a good one.
Great.
Oh, yeah. Were there two cases attached for him?
Yeah.
All right, let me see. I didn't write down on each file. Let me get that back. Thank you.
So just need an approach, on the paperwork, just so that. Yeah, take care. I don't know if they have the, motion or not, but this just is on the. Yeah. What should be action? And they're predated, they're dated September. So, you know, that on October. Yeah.
Samantha Lopez.
Yeah, good morning, Judge.
Good morning. All right, court is calling 2022 CR 4501, State of Texas versus Samantha Lee Lopez. Can I have parties announced for the record? For the state,
Ashley Jones.
defense,
Amir Memorial.
and are you Miss Lopez?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
I have, Your Honor.
And did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Lopez, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Judge.
Ms. Lopez, did you review the admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with assault, family, choking, strangulation? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Lopez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at $1,500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. This is to run concurrent with County Court Cause number 633165, and there's an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that to be your plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions, that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 4 years. There be 160 hours of community service restitution, no contact with Stacy, Stacey, Reyes. There's to be the BIP course, TAP evaluation, and no possession of firearms. Legally, you're not allowed to possess any firearms. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the plea?
Yes, Your Honor, state would offer to admit State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, in state, have you had contact with the complainant?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Lopez, did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court would defer finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We respectfully ask the court to follow the agreement, Judge.
All right, why are you violent? What's going on with you?
At the time, I was not in a very good mental state. I was in an abusive relationship. Things just got out of hand.
Abusive relationship with who?
With the Stacy Reyes, ma'am.
All right, she said you tried to run her over in the police report, which you stipulated to this. She says that you ran her over with a car before. And according to this, she went out, she got promoted at work, she didn't come home, she decided to celebrate with whomever she decided to celebrate with, and then she's saying you choked her and beat her up. So again, what's wrong with you?
Ma'am, at the time, we have been together for 15 years before that, off and on relationship. We had a lot of issues.
So why don't you just leave?
I have-
After, according to this, after you ran her over with the vehicle, why didn't you leave? I'm thinking
not
if
in a
you're in a
good-
relationship with somebody and it gets to the point where you're running them over with a vehicle, maybe that relationship should be over.
Yes, ma'am, I agree.
So why didn't you just leave?
I just wasn't in the strong enough headspace to leave. I felt like she was all that I had, and I wasn't in contact with family at all. So I stayed and things just got worse.
All right, but according to this, you're the one who's beating her up, not the other way around.
I'm the only one that got the cops called on me.
Well, when she said you ran her over with the vehicle, she said she was dishonest with the police and said, I don't remember what happened.
But I'm just saying, I never called the police on her. I could have several times, but I chose not to. So there is no record of that, unfortunately.
So for this, when this happened, they don't mention that you have any scratches on you. It's just she's the one who got beat up and choked out. So,
Yes, ma'am. And
so
that night-
obviously you can choke her out because you did.
Yes, ma'am. That night, she did also put her hands on me, but I'm stronger than she is. I wasn't harmed as badly as I harmed her.
No, it says here, there was an argument. She says you punched her several times in the face and choked her. And you choked her. They observed petechiae in her left eye from you choking her out. And that she pretended like she was just going to go outside to get some air, and you gave her her phone because you didn't think it could work, and her phone was broken.
Yes, ma'am.
So it
I'm-
appears you have an anger issue. So
Yes,
where is
ma'am.
your anger issue coming from, and why do you think that might makes right in relationship? Because that's what's happening here.
The anger was just stemming from all the past history of that relationship. I have worked on myself a lot since then. I'm not denying anything from that night. I know that I did wrong. And I have regretted it since then. Since that night, I never put my hands on her after that because I felt so badly about what I had done.
Are you all still together?
No, ma'am.
All right, because that relationship is over. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do y'all have any children together?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any property in your name
Together?
with her?
No,
Yes.
ma'am.
All right, so that relationship is over.
Yes.
Do you have any children?
No.
Are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
I work at a nonprofit pet rescue.
Mhm.
I'm a supervisor.
All right. So this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 5 years deferred adjudication. There's a $1,500 fine that will be probated. This will run concurrent with 633165. That's a misdemeanor case. There's to be an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Stacy Reyes. And if you're doing sober support meetings with that DWI, I know sometimes they tell you as part of your rehabilitation, you have to apologize to people that you've done wrong. You're not allowed to apologize to her. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
No contact. There's going to be proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular random UAs. Make sure they test for alcohol. Field visits 1 time per month for 3 months. The BIPP course. TAP evaluation out of custody. And probation, since she's on probation in the misdemeanor case for a DWI, they may have already done a TAP. If you all, they have not?
No, Your Honor, that plea hasn't been.
Oh, it hasn't been done?
No, Your
Okay.
Honor.
So TAP evaluation out of custody. I'm going to want 90 sober meetings in 90 days. There's a 160 hours of community service restitution. Probation, I know what BIP does, but is there any type, she's saying that she was abused as well. Is there any type of program for her?
Trauma assessment to get a better idea on what she.
All right, we'll do trauma assessment. And if trauma assessment requires a class, then I'll waive the 160 hours of community service restitution. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, relationships are work. People think it's all bed of roses. It is not. Anybody who's been married for a long time, they will tell you it's work. You know, relationships and marriages are not the wedding. It's what comes after. So this is what you need to do. You need to go to one of these stores, get you an orchid. They are beautiful. They have beautiful flowers on it. Make sure you get one that has all the flowers on it and bring it home. And when those flowers fall off, if you're able to get that orchid to rebloom, then maybe you're ready for a relationship. And let me just tell you why I say that. Orchids takes patience. They take time. You get those instructions from the store and then people tell you, you're not supposed to put ice in orchids, right? But they give you instructions to do that. Orchids don't like to be moved around. Sometimes they're very finicky. They like the sunlight, then they don't like the sunlight. And if you are patient enough to get that orchid to rebloom, then maybe you'll be ready for a relationship. Because guess what? A relationship requires patience. It requires acceptance. And anytime you're thinking about throwing that orchid away, that's like with relationships. Anytime you think about putting your hands on somebody, maybe it's time for you to leave. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. In this court, communication is key. If there's an issue, you need to let your probation officer know. If you feel as though they're not addressing your issue, you can come to court. And if the complainant comes back to you because maybe she wants to rekindle things, you need to call the police, because otherwise you're going to be violation of your probation if you visit her and if you allow her to live with you. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Maybe excuse Judge.
Yes. Thank you, counsel.
I need to go back to the family. As far as the house shows, we're not here.
Do you need something? You're welcome. All right, Byron AG. And then I'll take yours up next. Who's on Byron AG? All right. Cavante Thomas, hard drive needed. Johnny Ruiz, hard drive.
My fellow didn't show up, Karen.
What is your guy?
Tovar.
Let me see if I have it. Deputy Mahir, can you all make an announcement for Tovar, please? Okay. All right, can I see a prosecutor on Julius Tovar, please? Court is calling 2024 CR 009804, State of Texas versus Julius Tovar. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Andrew Harris Edelman.
for the defense?
Pat Montgomery.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 11:10 a.m. Mr. Tovar has not appeared. Deputy, did you make an announcement for Mr. Tovar outside?
Yes, ma'am.
And what were the results?
Data contact.
All right, defense, have you had contact with your client?
No, ma'am, also negative contact.
All right, state.
Your Honor, does Mr. Tovar have a commercial bond or a personal bond?
Commercial.
Forfeit the bond and issue a warrant.
All right, the court will grant the bond forfeiture, remand your client without bond. If your client makes an appearance, the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you may be excused. Thank you.
Take care.
All right, Brandyburg. Just give me one moment, counsel. All right. We're back on the record in 2024 CR 4089 State versus James Brandyburg. Could parties re-announce, please?
Raymond Saldana for the state.
Adrian Bettis for the defendant.
All right, where we left off, defense had entered defense exhibits 1 and 2. Counsel, are you asking for this to be a part of the record or?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then defendants exhibits 1 and 2 is admitted without objection. Any other witnesses from either party?
No, Your Honor.
All right, state you're opposed to the defendant's application and you're asking for 3 years in the prison?
We are, Judge.
All right, you may proceed, state.
Mainly, Your Honor, we have extended probation to the defendant in 2016 for this very charge, a violation of a sex offender. Violation of a sex offender registration. He was given probation for 4 years in 2017. Then in May of 2018, he picks up another violation of a sex offender registration, which is what triggers an MTR, and the case, his probation gets revoked. He gets sentenced for 2 years in ADC. And then here we are again in 2024 with a new violation of a sex offender with a previous conviction offense. We just don't believe that probation is something that Mr. Brandyburg is going to successfully complete. We did take into consideration the mitigating circumstances, which defense will argue, which is why I offered a capital 3 in this case. So we asked the judge, the court sentenced him to 3 years and denies application for both deferred and community supervision.
All right, defense.
Judge, I'm asking that you place him on community supervision. It's very important to Mr. Brandyburg that he have structure. It's very important to him that he's able to prove to himself that he can complete probation. As the court knows from the defense exhibits that have been admitted, he does suffer from PTSD, anxiety, depression. He's had a lot of problems in his past. And because of those problems, he spent a good deal of his most recent life being homeless. And when you are homeless, it's difficult to comply with registration and with probation. But he tells me that he is in a position to do it. And he states, moreover, he was in compliance, but not putting any blame on the people that he was registering to, but he would be in compliance, but not on strict compliance. And the people that he was reporting to were letting a lot of tardiness slide. And he understands now that there is no accommodation for tardiness. If he's given another shot to do this, he needs to stay on top of his registration and on top of his probation. And I think that he can. We have discussed perhaps him going to Haven for Hope until he could get on his feet. He tells me that he's done that in the past before successfully, where he was able to afford his own apartment for a period of time. He's had a series of bad circumstances, but I don't believe him to be a bad person. I believe him committing this offense multiple times because of his homelessness and because of his lack of plan. And he has a plan now, and he's asking that you give him a shot on probation. If you don't judge, then I'd ask for the minimum. Thank you.
All right. Well, in reading defense exhibits 1 and 2, and also reading the stipulations, it says that he has a wife. And I'm making assumptions, and if my assumption is incorrect, please let me know. It appears that he lives with his wife. That's what it's, I mean, that's what's in the stipulation. He's like, he speaks to his wife and his wife asks him how he's doing. So if that's not the case, then be sure to let the court know.
No, ma'am, that was a 6-year relationship that I was in, and the reason I actually had the second violation because that relationship ended, and my residence, who was actually with that individual after that relationship ended, actually ended my residency, and that's what led to me not being able to register.
All right, so, and then in the stipulations, he last reported in November. And they were giving him some leeway because he was homeless. All he had to do was show up and report again. And this offense is in January, so they gave him 2 months, even though he was required to report every 30 days.
I thought it was the annual reporting, and I actually went and turned myself in when I seen I had the warrant at 9th Street. I went and turned myself in, Your Honor.
Okay.
I wish I had a better explanation, Judge, other than he was homeless, doing the best that he can. And he did, in fact, also, Judge, I do think that it's important to remember that he did, in fact, eventually register. Yes, he registered late, but he was not trying to evade any registration requirements. And also, as he said, when he found out he had a warrant for this, he did turn himself in.
Right, and turned myself.
But I don't understand. No, stop amening what your attorney is saying. What I don't understand is, you know, you're supposed to report whether you're homeless or not. I'm assuming you have money for a bus, or at least if you had to walk, you would have made it there by December. If you had to, your last report date was November 28th. You need to report in 30 days. If you would have started walking, you would have been there before January. So I don't understand why he's not reporting when he's been to prison. You're asking a hard ask, your attorney is asking a hard ask for the court to give you probation when you've been on probation before for not registering. And then while you're on probation for not registering, you pick up another failure to register, which is why they revoked you. And now you're back again for not registering.
I wish I had a better explanation for you, Judge, but those are the facts, and we're asking for leniency.
So if I can speak, Your Honor.
Sure. You want to raise your right hand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
James Ray Brandenburg Jr.
Yes, what would you like to say?
I just, I was depending on other people to get things done. And now it's just me that I have depended on.
How old are you?
I'm 41.
What other people are you depending on to make sure you're registered?
Well, that's the one I was in a relationship with for 6 years. And
But
it
is
wasn't
she,
serious to her.
but here's the thing though. Is she the one who needs to register? No. So I still don't understand why you're not following through. You're in your 40s, you're not 18 or 19. If he were 18 or 19, I could understand. Oh, I'm dependent on my mom to drop me here or drop me there. But at some point, it's all on you. Anything else from either side?
No.
No, Your Honor.
All right, I just don't think probation is a good fit for you. And mainly because you were placed on probation previously for failure to register. And while you were on probation for that failure to register, there is a motion to revoke file. I think it was denied. Then you pick up another failure to register. And then you get revoked. And now you're back here as an adult man in your 40s saying you depend on other people to register you. And you reported to them November, and they told you you need to be back in December. And obviously they gave you some leeway because maybe you told them you were homeless or whatever. And then you still didn't report until January.
That's when they explained to me, if I do it annual, I have up to 30 days before and 30 days after. I didn't know that if I was doing it monthly, it wasn't the 30 days before, the 30 days after. It's actually 3 days.
No, here's the thing. When you go in to report, and people, please correct me if I'm wrong. When you go in to register, just say, I'm here to register. they give you the next date that you're supposed to come in and report. Am I wrong? Or do they just say, good luck to you, we'll see you whenever we see you?
No,
They-
blue slip.
They give you a piece of paper and say, this is the next day you're to report. So are you telling me that they didn't give you a blue slip telling you when the next time you were to report?
Yes, ma'am, but it's 30, I thought it was 30 days before, 30 days after, just like the annual registration is.
No, but here's the thing. They put a specific date on there for when you're to report. Am I wrong? Oh, am I wrong or no?
No, they
Okay.
didn't put it.
So I don't think probation is good for you. And I'm telling you right now, I'm taking in consideration that he's homeless. I'm taking in consideration of what I've read in Defense Exhibits 1 and Defense Exhibit 2. So I'm going to find you guilty. I'm going to sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. And I saw that his violation that he has, there was some mention about him getting parole on that, or he thinks he's about to get parole on that. That was in one of the defense exhibits. So is there something that he has that he's getting paroled on?
No, that was for a previous, those records are a bit old.
They paroled me actually last time I went down.
All right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. You know you must register, right? When you are released from prison on parole, you need to head directly, whether they tell you or not, you need to go directly to where you're supposed to register and get a card from them asking them, what's the next date you need to register? You understand? And this whole thing with you, with somebody giving you leeway or being a little bit lax, you can't be a little bit lax. You know why? Because you're looking at prison. And you're going to get to a point, I don't know about your history, whether you're already at that point, but you can end up being filed on as a habitual. And then your minimum will be 25 years in the prison. So what you need to do while you're at the prison, and I'll recommend therapeutic community because I know there's some mental health going on as well.
Thank you.
If there is an issue, you need to talk to them about it and you need to come up with a plan. I saw in Defense Exhibits 1 and 2, where at some point in time, somebody had a plan for you and you said, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do something else. You need to get a plan from the prison. How are you going to get housing? How are you going to do all of these things? Because you have to register, there are many places that will not let you stay there. So you're going to have to really look around, or either you're going to have to end up leasing a house or renting a house or something, because usually apartment complexes will not let you stay. You understand? All right, good luck to you, okay? Counselor, if you give this to the court reporter, please.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
There you go. Thank you.
April Perez. Hello, good morning. How's it going?
Well, we're here on a bond reduction, motion to set bond.
Okay. All right. Court is calling 2024 CR 2756, State of Texas versus April Ann Perez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris, Salem.
Defense?
Orlando Castañon.
And are you Miss Perez?
Yes.
All right, counsel, you've filed a motion to set bond. State, have you had a chance to review defense counsel's motion?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, is there a proposed agreement or no?
Believe so.
Yes, Judge, I've conferred with the state. I believe they've agreed to set it $5,000. Previous bond was $2,500.
All right, and why doesn't she have a bond? Oh,
She was previously out on bond, and she was under the belief that her case had been dismissed. It was indicted. She was not aware of the prior setting. And so she did not attend court, and as such, a bond forfeiture was issued.
all right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Brian Pettis.
All right. At the Bear County Jail, are you in general population?
Yes.
Are you on any type of medications?
No.
Have you ever had any mental health issues in the past? Have you ever been diagnosed with any mental health illness? Have you ever used any type of drugs in the past?
No. In the past?
Yes. All right, and what have you used in the past?
I used meth.
Okay. All right, this is what the court will do. The court will agree to your bond. The court will set the bond at $5,000, and the court is going to require 90 sober meetings in 90 days.
Did you say 90?
Yes. 90 sober meetings in 90 days. All right, we can go off the record. Where are we on discovery on this case?
Judge, I was just assigned to it last week. and
Okay.
So I need some time to go through discovery.
All right, so I'm gonna give you a general reset.
I believe we've already been placed on the docket for 30 days, Judge. It
I
was only,
don't think so, because it's not listed on my, let me see. No, we only have this setting.
that's fine, Judge.
All right, so. Norma? All right, we're gonna recall this for November 21st, and that's just to see where we are on discovery.
Yes, Judge.
All right, and then let me give you a reset. And you need to make sure you're here on November 21st. If you're not here, a warrant will be issued. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, did I hear that correctly? November 21st?
Yes,
Thank you, Your Honor.
you're welcome. You may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Here, our counsel. If you ever sign that and put an email address on that, if she has one, please.
I have one in my bag. Signed here.
Hold that for you. Hold it to-
There you go. What did Chris mean? Email address? Do you have one?
Yeah. It's
Just put it over here.
right here.
All right, Judge, may we be excused?
Yes, you may be excused. All right, who's here on Thomas Henson? So before we go on the record, we did do a plea of true on the motion to revoke. Was the motion to revoke heard?
We just did a plea of true, Judge,
Okay.
and then we reset a lot with the plea.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 00923 State of Texas versus Thomas Henson. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris, Edelman.
Defense?
Attorney Albert Oswald for Mr. Henson.
Are you Mr. Henson?
Yes, ma'am.
You entered a plea of no contest on September 12th to the offense of evading arrest detention with a vehicle. According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is recommending community supervision. This is the run concurrent with 2022 CR 5859. State is taking in consideration 2024 PF 06107, 2024 PF 06357, and the state is silent on your application for deferred adjudication. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Your Honor.
Any objections?
None from the state, Your Honor.
No objections, Your Honor.
Any witnesses from the state?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Defense, any witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, call your first witness.
I'd like to call Denise Torres.
Yes.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Denise Torres.
All right, there's no need to be nervous. Let me just tell you, my job is to listen to whatever evidence that's being presented to me and make a decision on whether or not to, there are two things that I'm doing here today. One, seeing whether or not I'm going to follow this plea bargain agreement that they have reached. And two, whether or not I'm going to continue him on deferred adjudication or whether or not I'm going to revoke him. So I'm just trying to get information. All right. Make sure you keep your voice up so that the court reporter can hear and so that I can hear. All right, defense.
Ms. Torres, what's your relationship with Mr. Henson?
I'm his mother.
Okay. And we've kind of spoken about his mental health and substance problems. Is that correct?
Yes, we have.
And can you just provide the court with a little additional information? When did you start having problems with Mr. Henson in regards to his mental health issues?
I would say we noticed his mental health issues when he was about 12 years old.
And during that period, were you able to get him treated at all?
He's been in and out of different rehabs in San Antonio. We've tried different medications and we've continued it all the way till he was about 16.
And during this period, was he also having trouble in school?
He was having trouble in school as far as peer pressures and falling into the wrong crowd.
All right, and I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yes,
When you
ma'am.
speak, if you could turn towards the court reporter.
Yes.
And counsel, if you want to stand over there and ask her a question that way, so it won't seem so awkward for you, you can do so.
I guess, let me rephrase and ask the question again. I know he was seeing mental health providers or counseling at that time,
Yes.
but in conjunction, was he having trouble using substances?
Yes.
And when was the onset that you first discovered that he was using drugs?
I would say for me personally, I truly realized it when he was about in the 7th grade. So that's 12, 13 years old.
And as a result of that, did he stop going to school?
Yes, eventually he did stop going to school. He dropped out. I took him, I have moved him from school to school to school to try to get him away from the crowds, try to encouragement, give him different environments while still being treated by both psychiatrists and psychologists on regular meetings and medication.
And at that point, would you say that you lost control? You had no control over his decisions?
I would say by the time he turned 16, I got to the point where I felt like I had no control anymore.
And then he moved out of your house?
He did move out. He moved out of my house at the time of the incident was because I noticed he was supposed to be at work. He quit coming home from work, so I was trying to track him down, and that's when I realized he was out with his friends again. So it's at 16.
Okay. And
when he moved out, do you know where his whereabouts was at that time?
I would say for about a year, no. I did not know where he was at for about a year, so I know at that point for sure he was not taking any medication.
And you, and do you believe he was using drugs at that time still?
Absolutely.
And my understanding is at some point, he would live with your mom as well, right?
Yes, he would go over there.
And does she live close to you?
She lives 2 houses down and we live on the same street.
Okay. And during that period, do you believe that, or was he getting any treatment as far as his mental health issues?
I don't think so. I know that when he left my house, he did take his medication. I gave it all to him. But then at that point, I don't think he was taking his medication, even though I would provide it. I would fill his prescriptions. I would give them to my mom, but I don't know if it was the environment. It was just really hard for her to literally give them to him and make them take it.
Just a moment. Let me wait till they finish talking over
Yes,
here.
ma'am.
All right, you may continue.
And has Thomas ever received any substance treatment at all?
For substance abuse, not that I know of, no. I have always tried to treat him for mental, for just helping with whether it was ADHD or his bipolar depression. It was depression at the time. Sorry.
And do you believe him not taking medication for those mental health issues? As a result of that, he was self-medicating
Yes,
and using drugs?
yes, I think that's what he was.
You understand what we're here for today, correct?
Yes, I do.
And what are you asking the court to consider as she hears this testimony?
I asked that from the beginning. I wanted to have help for his drug addiction. And I wanted him to find. For me, I always thought it was the depression, anxiety. I suffer from anxiety. But he doesn't need the illegal drugs. He doesn't need to be taking all of these pills and things to cope and get through day by day and realize that his life is important.
And do you think
I
it's
want him
something,
to have.
do you think this is something that it would benefit him from receiving this help in custody? So that he doesn't have any access to these illegal substances?
As much as I miss him, as much as I want. I know it's best for him to get the treatment in custody versus.
And do you believe these charges that he's picked up in the last few years are as a result of his substance abuse?
I know they have, and they have with every single one. I've seen him, been around him when he's arrested. I'm always the first phone call. And I'm the one that has to tell the officers that he's probably on something, he's unclear here, and he's ended up in the hospital every single time, almost overdose.
Is there anything else that you want the judge to know about your son?
Uh, He's my son, and I love him so much. He is a good kid, and I know we all say that. He truly is. When he's sober. And when he's not sober, he won't come around me because he knows I could see through him. And when I see him and he's under the influence, and it scares. Because it's not him. It's not him doing these things or actions.
And just for a brief second, I want to touch on the motion to revoke probation. This is sentencing. This first part is sentencing for the new case. But the underlying probation case, the ag assault, the complainant, my understanding is your husband, right?
Yes, it is.
And that he's supposed to have a no contact order with them, right?
Correct.
And is it true that your husband wanted to be here today?
He did want to be here today. He was scared to come. He didn't want to make everybody nervous.
So he can appear by Zoom.
I told him that he's available.
Oh, yeah.
We may be able to accommodate that, Judge. But just as far as that, my understanding is
you know, he wants your son to get that same help, correct?
Yes, he does. Ever since the beginning from their charge, whenever the DA would call, he would tell them, I don't want to press charges. It wasn't him. We want him to have help. Ever since the beginning, we've said, we just want him to have help with the drug problems.
Okay.
And no matter how many we have to put him in, they let him out.
And just kind of to update the board to give him a refresher. When he got out of ISF, because he did go to ISF, is that correct?
Yes, he did.
And it was just for the cognitive track?
Correct.
Y'all did reapproach the judge and ask her to see about amending that condition, right?
Yes, we did, because we want him in the house because it's together we can work and give him that environment and the support that he needs. And at the same time, you know, it's harder for him to break those rules.
And do you recall at that time that he tested positive for marijuana?
I do.
And then the judge subsequently had him UAing and eventually hopefully getting clean before he
Correct.
made that decision?
Correct. He was supposed to have 30 days.
Okay. And at that point, you know, he had kind of fallen back to that same issue, using drugs again, right?
Yes.
Again, we're telling the court at this point that you believe it's in the best interest of him if given an opportunity to get treatment in custody, correct?
Yes.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Any questions?
Just one. If the court offers your son the help that you want him to get, what makes you think that he'll take advantage of it?
Because I know he wants it after incidences, when I try to talk to him about what happened, or if he remembers, there's times he doesn't, there's times it's flashbacks. And he knows and it's accepted that he does have a problem. And I just want to help get him to get that support. And I know if he goes into a treatment, then he's gonna have that, the support, the ways, the avenues, and he's gonna be sober. And he's gonna start realizing.
I don't have any more questions, Your Honor.
All right. How old is your son?
My son is 20.
All right. So here's the thing. I appreciate your coming in to testify. But whatever decision that I make, it's not your fault. Because he's an adult. And decisions I make are based upon evidence that I hear. And there are consequences for actions. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you so much for coming down. Any other witnesses?
I'd just like to call one other witness, Judge,
Sure.
Michael Mearchuk.
Excuse me, Judge, they can speak directly to you. That little black box there, I
Okay.
can hear.
All right. Thank you. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Michael Mearchuk,
All right, defense.
Mr. Mearchuk, what's your relationship with Mr. Henson?
grandfather.
And has Mr. Henson ever lived with you?
Yes, he has.
During what period did he start living with you?
He started living with us when he was 3 months old, all the way up until really now. We've been incarcerated for jail and whatnot. He's been in and out living with us for 20 years.
And during this period that he's lived with you on and off, did you notice any problems that he was having?
Oh, yeah, he's had, up until he was like 12 years old, 13 years old, he's a great kid. I mean, he's got a black belt in karate or taekwondo. We worked with him to get him the best help, and, you know, we're grandparents, we spoiled him, we made sure and tried to get him everything he wanted. And then he just changed, I guess you could say, a little bit. From being, you wanted to be more than a kid to and get to do the things, you know, teenager would do, which was the wrong things at the time, because we didn't, me and his grandmother didn't know some of those things that he was doing outside. I mean, we were grandparents, we just were there for him. So come to find out that the wrong people he was doing things with and whatnot, we found all these things out after the fact.
Well, and let me ask this. I know you said you found after the fact. Did you ever experience his, you know, any problems with him while he was at your house as far as drug abuse?
We didn't even know he was taking drugs in our house if we wouldn't allow it. He, everything he did was outside of our house. We've, if anything was ever found in our house, it was found by his mother going through his, you know, he had his own room and whatnot, but, us, we just thought he was a good kid. You know, he's doing the things that he was supposed to do.
You were always there to provide a bed for him, correct?
Yes,
And do you believe, just knowing a little bit more about, you know, the issues that he was going through, is that he needs drug help?
yes, he needs help, both mentally and drug wise.
And then, you know, the same thing I had asked your daughter, you believe it's in his best interest to get that help in custody?
Yes,
Just so that he doesn't have any of those things around him.
that's correct.
I know she also mentioned that he stopped going to school around 7th grade. Did you try to encourage him during that period?
Oh, we tried, I mean, my wife and I would take him to school to make sure he got there. I mean, we'd pick him up and take him, and we thought he was going to school and doing the things he was supposed to. Instead, we, you know, come to find out that skipping, and I guess he's going with his buddies, doing the drugs thing and anything else he probably wasn't supposed to be doing.
And why do you think, you know, he deserves an opportunity to get that type of treatment while being on probation, since he's messed up?
We just know he's a very good kid, and he just needs help. He's he might be an adult right now, but he's still a kid, really at heart. And I guess he just needs to grow up and learn that his actions were wrong, everything he's done, and try to find a way to become an adult. And hopefully with help, he can do that.
Is there anything else you want to tell the judge?
Just that I hope that you help him favorably, and that since he does need help, I know he is an adult now, but a lot of the stuff that he did do, he was a kid prior to that. Maybe he should have gotten help, you know, 2 or 3 years ago, instead of, you know, waiting until now, unfortunately, through all the trouble he did get himself into. And we're just pleading and hoping that you'll do that for him.
And just one other thing, your wife Laura is also here in the audience, correct?
She is.
I'll pass it over to her.
Any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you.
Judge, no other witnesses, just Mr. Henson.
Okay, Mr. Henson? You want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Thomas Henson.
All right, make sure you keep your voice up. So other than getting more tattoos and picking up a new offense, what have you done on probation? All right, he's done nothing on probation. What am I supposed to do with that?
All right, proceed, Your Honor.
Yes.
Mr. Henson, we've gone over the TAP evaluation and also the MTR, is that correct?
Yes.
And you've taken responsibility for your actions, correct?
Yes.
You waived indictment and took a plea in the evading, correct?
Yes.
You understand that there were certain conditions that were required of you while on probation, right?
Yes.
At some point, the judge ordered ISF cognitive treatment. Did you complete that?
Yes.
And did you receive any benefit from going to that?
Other than it being like a sanction, not really.
I mean, when you say not really, why was it not a benefit to you?
I wasn't really taking it serious at the time. It was more of like I felt like a punishment, like a sanction from home, and I probably could have made more of it, but I didn't.
And during that period, did you receive any substance treatment in conjunction with it?
No.
When you say you didn't take it serious, can you explain to the court, you know, as we apply for probation and ask for inpatient services for substance treatment, why you would take it serious now?
Yeah, I'm tired of being a disappointment. I want to show my mom that because they're being so supportive of me, I don't want to let them down. I want to do everything right for them instead of thinking about being selfish and thinking about myself.
And you understand only you can treat yourself during this part. It's not up to them, it's up to you, right?
Right.
And that if the judge gives you an opportunity by ordering these services, that she's essentially giving someone else's chance to you. And you telling her that you didn't take it serious the first time is a problem, right?
Right.
What kind of drugs have you used?
Opiates, amphetamines, annex, weed.
And every single time you've committed offense, have you been under the influence?
Yes, sir.
And have you ever tried to kick these addictions?
Multiple times I've tried, but not wanted to. That makes sense.
Okay. And do you think you would benefit from going inpatient to receive this treatment?
Yes.
And are you motivated to get this treatment?
Yes, I'm motivated.
What are some of the things that you would do while in custody getting this treatment to be successful to remain sober?
Make a plan so whenever I get out, I can stay sober and complete probation. If I could just stay sober, I don't see myself having any troubles completing my probation.
And do you have any goals in life?
Yes.
And what are those goals?
I want to go to cosmetology school and so I could do hair and nails, become a barber.
And you stopped going to school at the in 7th grade, give or take. Did you ever try to complete your GED?
Yeah, I enrolled in some classes, but I never ended up making it to them.
While you've been in custody, have you made any efforts to try to get enrolled in the GED program?
I'm on the waiting list right now.
Okay, so you've actually signed up for it?
Right.
You understand right now, you're asking the court for, I'd say, a 4th opportunity, 5th opportunity, right?
Right.
That prior to this, when you came forward on that MTR and they denied that MTR and continued you, she gave you an opportunity then. Is there a reason that you didn't express that you needed drug treatment at that point?
No, at that point, I just wanted to go home. I just wanted to go home.
And at this point, you realize that you can't do it on your own, right?
Right.
And that in order to be successful, though, if the court allows and gives you a structured environment, you're telling the court that you can be successful?
Yes.
What type of work have you done in the past?
Car washes, fast food.
And when's the last time that you were employed?
Probably 2 months prior to July.
What were you doing then?
A car wash.
Then you stopped working
Yes, after I relapsed, I stopped showing up.
and you turned back to drugs
Yes.
and you were involved in this offense?
Right.
You understand how serious it is to evade?
Yes.
You understand that you're putting people in danger,
Yes.
not just yourself? That it's a selfish decision?
Yes.
And are you acknowledging that you make that mistake today?
Yes.
And you're asking the court, are you begging to her that you want this treatment?
Yes. I want the treatment. I want to do. I'm motivated now to do it for real this time.
Is there anything else you want her to consider? But you're asking her to put you on deferred adjudication probation? And you're asking for substance treatment?
Yeah.
That's what's wrong.
State, any questions?
No question, but I do have some observations, if you'll allow me.
Yes.
Mr. Acevedo allowed me to speak with Mr. Henson, and in speaking with Mr. Henson, I observed that he expressed more than mere self-pity over the situation in which he's gotten himself into. He expressed regret for the negative consequences that his actions had on other people, not just the victim in this offense, but also for his family. He did not blame other people for his own actions, and he recognized that his actions are caused, perhaps caused is not the right word, but are an extension of a substance use disorder. I respected his honesty. I don't respect the crimes that he's committed, but I do respect his honesty. And the state's agreement is an effort to thread the needle between holding him accountable for his poor choices and trying to help him get the help that he needs and that he recognizes that he needs. That's all.
All right, what have you done on probation since 2022? Because you were placed on probation September 15th, 2022. I placed you on 4 years deferred adjudication. There were cases that were taken in consideration. I ordered 240 hours of community service restitution. Have you, and I said I would waive that if you obtain your GED. Have you obtained your GED? So since 2022, have you worked on obtaining your GED? I'm sorry.
No, ma'am.
All right, I ordered that you provide proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home health care or with minors. Did you provide proof of employment with probation?
To a certain amount of time until I lost my job.
All right, you didn't lose your job, you quit or you were fired, am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So were you fired or did you quit?
I stopped showing up.
All right, so don't make it seem as though you were doing your job and somehow magically you lost your job. That was not the case. You decided to get high, like the rap song says, you know, I was gonna get my GED, but I decided to get high. You need to listen to that rap song because everything they were supposed to do, they didn't do because they wanted to get high. So the anger control course, anger aggression control course, did you take that?
No.
All right, I ordered you to do that. You haven't done that since 2022. There was a 10 p.m. curfew I ordered. So did you abide by your curfew?
No.
All right, you're supposed to reside with your grandparents. Did you up and leave your grandparents and not reside with them any longer? All right, you were not supposed to have any contact with your stepfather. Did you have contact with him? Did you have contact with your stepfather?
Yeah.
All right, so why are you telling me no?
Well, it wasn't like I was every day, you know what I mean?
And when you had contact with him, did you cause confusion and destruction of property?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. There's supposed to be regular UAs for people to test you for drugs. Did you do that? All right. You were supposed to regularly report by Zoom or in person. Did you do that?
No.
All right. So then what ends up happening? There was a hearing said it was supposed to be contested. And between those two cases, we had compliance hearings where I've asked him if he had any issues. And then October 23rd, 2023, there's a new number 1 and you pled true. And the state waived other violations. I denied the motion and I altered amended conditions to have no contact with the complainant. In 2023, after I told you were not to have contact with the complainant, did you continue to have contact? All right. And did you cause destruction of property?
Yes.
All right. So then I ordered state ISF. And the reason why state ISF cognitive was ordered, because obviously there was something wrong with his thought processes. Did you take advantage and learn anything from that?
No, ma'am.
Right. Then I wanted to do GPS and I gave him partial for work until further notice. And he was to reside at his grandmother's home. Did you reside at your grandmother's home? And then we come back because this is where the drug use comes in, because he came in and he tested positive for marijuana. So on April 11th, I ordered 90 sober meetings in 90 days, and this probation was to do testing and test you for levels. Did you do those 90 sober meetings? Did you do even one?
No.
Right. And did you allow probation to test you? Okay. And then we came back on August 22nd, 2024, because the state was going to complete with the speak to the complainant. And then on September 12th, there was a plea to a violation of condition number 1. So what we're here for is why should I even continue him on probation? Why shouldn't he go to prison? It appears that he doesn't want to do anything. It appears to the court that you don't want to be on probation. You rather get high, you rather cause devastation and destruction with your parents because you haven't done anything on probation other than get new tattoos. And some of those appear to be gang tattoos. That's all you've done. So other than get gang tattoos and get your face tatted, which I tell people, unless you're moving towards a specific occupation, you really shouldn't be doing the face tattoos because it makes it hard for employment. So other than the gang tattoos and the piercings and the dollar sign, which you're not working, so I don't know if that's an aspiration or gang stuff. So other than the gang tattoos and the more piercings, what have you done that would make me think you would be successful on probation in this court?
Nothing, Your Honor.
So why should I even give you probation? Because all you've done is cause destruction. The car you were riding in for the evading was a stolen vehicle. That's why they were trying to pull you over. The complainant you were in the passenger you were with, they got out, took off running as you did. So you haven't done anything. All you're coming to me is with your hands open, with the state saying, and your counsel saying, well, I think he's internalized this time. You brought me nothing as a reason for why I should continue you. You had all the opportunity and you've done nothing. And I think probation wants you revoked. And on the aggravated assault, you're looking at 20 years in the prison. And it appears that you want to go to prison because that's what your actions are telling me. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. We can go off the record. So it appears that you want to go to prison and be passed around for cigarettes or dessert because that's what's going to happen to you because you're young and they will think you're attractive at the prison. And I'm just being real with you. You understand? And no matter commissary money that your parents and your grandparents can put on the books for you is going to save you from being passed around at the prison. You understand? And do you understand what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to be passed around for Roman noodle? Because that's what's going to happen. No, I'm dead serious. And that's what happened at the Bexar County Jail. People will get passed around for dessert. Someone was sentenced to this in this court for murder. And the first thing he did at the Bexar County Jail was go have sex with somebody. Whether it was consensual or not, that case hasn't been brought to me. And I can tell you right now, your grandparents, your mother probably doesn't have enough money to put on your books so you won't be passed around for Roman noodles, cigarettes, oranges, or whatever at the jail. And it appears to the court that that's what you want to happen to you. Doing all these little crazy little tattoos you got here, trying to be Billy Bad with gang tattoos and everything. Do you understand? All right, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to think about this. You can come back in the afternoon. All right, thank you. Deputy Mejia, make sure he's not passed around in the back. All right, the last case we're going to take before our break. Who is here on Brandon Rocky Pena? Randy Rocky Pena. Okay.
You guys have control services indicating that he removed his GPS device.
Okay. All right. We'll go on the record.
So I didn't expect him here.
Okay. All right. Court is calling 2020 CR 1209 State of Texas versus Brandon Rocky Pena. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor. Louis Martinez on behalf of Mr. Bennett.
All right. This hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It's now 12:05 p.m. Your client has not made an appearance. Where is your client?
Judge, I don't know. I've gone through his family and his girlfriend to find him. I've gotten no responses from him. So it's It is altogether not surprising to me that he's not here, but I will continue to try to get a hold of him.
All right, state,
Judge, I don't know if we're asking for a bond forfeiture or.
yes, bond forfeiture.
And Judge, there's a judge's warrant in place right now, and I don't know if we can just.
Oh,
increase
judge,
the bond.
there's a judge's warrant
Yes.
for, all right, so I'll keep the judge's warrant in place and remand him without bond.
Yes, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Judge, may I approach?
Just a moment.
Yeah, for lunch, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Sorry. Been a Monday.
Yeah, yeah. All right, who's here on Jeremiah Miller?
Your Honor, that's me.
Come forward. All right, have you received an offer?
Judge, we have been negotiating on the offer, but as in discussions with our prosecutor, there are 3 more meetings they need to have before they know if they have any other Brady information. And Judge, I would
3 more
request,
meetings where? With whom?
I'll let this state.
Yes, Your Honor. The defense has brought to our attention a couple more witnesses that they would like us to meet with that were involved in the case. Throughout our discussions, it's my understanding that there may be potentially Brady information that arises from those meetings.
All right, this is going to be the last reset I give you all for discovery. After this, there will be no further resets in this date that I'm going to give you. Y'all need to be prepared to tender an offer. Ms. Ferguson, put this case for,
Judge, may I request December 2nd? I'm pretty packed until then, but I could come on December 2nd.
all right, put it for December 2nd. There will be no further resets for discovery and an offer is due.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Oh, just give me one moment.
Saying he has to have the email with the accessory.
We'll be ready to approach whenever.
I know you did too.
1:30.
Not a problem.
All right, thank you.
We'll see you then.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, sorry, Mike. Okay, see you at 1:30. I gotta run. It's just a hectic one.
All right, AG. And counsel, when is his evaluation due?
Judge, I don't know. They just ordered it on Thursday.
Okay. Hello, Mr. AG.
No.
How are you doing?
I'm blessed I woke up.
Oh, that is awesome. And am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
Age, like how old are you?
Age, okay. All right, Mr. H, what I'm gonna do, your attorney is telling me that they are gonna do an evaluation. So counsel, what I'll do is I'll set this for December 2nd. But if it's done sooner than that, he'll have you brought back sooner, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, do you have any questions about anything, sir?
I'm trying to get a bond reduction.
All right, I tell you what, once your attorney files that, then I will hear it, and counsel, you can put that on the docket at any time.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. May I be
You're welcome.
excused?
Yes. All right, so let me see, just 1 second.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, we're going to go over the docket.